Up until earlier today, I thought that the Blood Raider battleships had the famous corpse cargo hold. Well, turns out that is exclusive to the Blood Raider capital ships. So that means, unfortunately, the Bhaalgorn does not have the corpse hold for, well, holding corpses, I guess, for whatever weird reason Blood Raiders need to have that. In any case, I did work on the build on the Bhaalgorn a little bit, and I found out that I don't have enough ISK for the rigs that I need, so had to push that for the next couple days until I have enough ISK to afford two new rig integrations that I want to replace. Should be around, I believe, 2 billion ISK per rig or something like that. I don't know. I should have that ISK in the next couple days. Really excited to see how that project on this ship ends up, because if everything goes according to plan, that Bhaalgorn will be able to tank a lot of damage. And I mean a lot of damage. Should be able to tank a whole fleet with a setup that includes 3 armor repairers. Basically, still has infinite capacitors, so as long as your enemy has capacitor, you can keep on repairing a insane amount of damage, which will be fun for our Chong fleet. I have a lot of more ideas and plans for the Bhaalgorn, and of course for the Abaddon. Alright, well, with that being said, let's jump to the first target. We have a Machariel. Well, here, and unfortunately I forgot a afterburner or a micro-op drive. For some reason I had 3 adaptives, and I thought that it was a good idea to have 3 adaptives on a super slow ship, but yeah. Thankfully, the Machariel has been webbed and pointed. Seems to be... looks like they are kinda sleeping, I would say. Yeah, they are definitely sleeping. Well, that should buy me enough time to get within point and web range. I have to be very careful here. Don't want my friend to lose the interdictor, because the Machariel can have very scary DPS. They can kill a cruiser like that very quickly, so I have to hurry up and get within point and web range. As for the capacitor, I believe my Nosferatu neutralizer will do a decent job at depleting that in no time. Machariel seems to be losing shields slowly. Even at this range, I'm still doing some decent damage with my lasers, although optimal is at 32 kilometers, I believe, with pulse lasers on the Bhaalgorn. Okay, almost within point and web range. Of course, the neutralizer and Nosferatu will start to be more efficient at this distance. Okay, Machariel is now in armor. Now I see the Machariel is... yeah, they woke up. Okay, they are now active. They used... I think they are using adaptives there, or a shield booster, or all combined. Yeah, that's a shield tank, Machariel. Unfortunately, they are already in armor. I am their primary target, it seems like. Let's heat up the armor repairers on time. This ship will be fun with 3 armor repairers, and they are also quite buffed, to be honest. So it should be a pretty scary Bhaalgorn when I finish with the rig integrations that I have in mind. Very nice. That was a pretty good Machariel there. It did have a nanocore, although I'll admit I did not see the nanocore at first when I observed the ship. Also pretty decent loot. Not bad. That was a good kill. Always exciting to shoot a faction battleship. Okay, next target. We have a Typhoon too that jumped in. This one is well within my optimal range. I did this time pick a mic warp drive just in case if something appears, like if something comes in like the Machariel. They are webbed, pointed, losing shield very quickly. Seems like this Typhoon had no resistances on the shield. That means I would expect a armor tank at this moment. Although the lower damage can also be explained by the laser damage type. It does mainly EM, and the second damage type is thermal. It does a little bit less damage on thermal, and I would guess I'm shooting the Typhoon on thermal when it's on armor, because armor should have decent EM resistance. Typhoon 2 is now in hull. Surprisingly, they still have enough capacitor left. You can see that my capacitor is at 99%, around that number. Usually when the target loses capacitor, my capacitor is also slowly depleting itself. That's a good indication that your target is out of cap. And nice, that was a pretty good kill. Always fun and exciting to shoot a tier 10 battleship as well. But still, I prefer to shoot faction battleships. They are very exciting. Well then, those were some 2 decent kills with the good old big vampire. Okay, well, back in the tackle ship, we have a Raven. Now you might remember last time I did tackle a Raven that was very tanky, and the Raven did eventually call in for help. Now I believe this is the same Raven, just with a little bit of a difference. This time they don't see us coming. Basically, this is a covert ops operation that was announced the second I scanned the ship. Recorded after I logged in, so they didn't have enough time to prepare or to run away. So that Raven is not seeing us arriving at this scout anomaly. And of course, I have a fantastic tackle in the Daredevil. That is one very skilled pilot, so I can trust him to hold the Raven first, and then I can add my own points. Okay, I added my own points to the Raven. We are now both in a good, I would say, position against the Raven. Usually for them to gather numbers, they would need around, I'd say, 5 minutes when they have intel, or around 10 to 15 minutes if we surprise them like this. I would say we have some time until the help for the Raven arrives. I would say enough time to shoot down the Raven, loot, and quickly warp away to safety. Now the Raven did try to shoot at me first, but the missiles on the Raven just don't do a lot of damage to an Orthrus that's going this fast. So they decided to shoot at the Daredevil, which also is kind of a... In the Raven's position here, it's actually better to shoot at me, because they would still do more damage to me than they would to the Daredevil. The Daredevil is very fast and it's a frigate, so the Daredevil is not taking a lot of damage. And you can also see the drones chasing the frigate, unable to catch him. So yeah, those drones are very slow for chasing a small and very quick frigate like the Daredevil. Or in my case, the drones are just simply out of range to chase an Orthrus. So we are safe from the weapon systems on the Raven. we are slowly making our way through the shield. Now, interestingly enough, I believe this is the exact same Raven from before, with a change in the fit. This Raven seems to have a PvE build, while the last fit that you could see was more of a bait build, because I believe it had at least 2 shield boosters and more adaptives installed. That's why now we are going through the tank without a problem. Local is still very chill. Like I said, we have enough time. We have enough time to play with that Raven. Hopefully they did get some pretty good loot from this scout anomaly. It looks like they have finished the scout and were busy looting. Oh man, what a mistake. Looting scout anomaly in a pirate system. What could possibly go wrong? And in a battleship too. Okay. Raven reaching low shield. I did forget to turn off my shield booster there for a moment. Will be kept stable just at 12-13%. A neutralizer does not have enough range to do any harm, so I'm good. Almost through the shield of the Raven. It would look like they had a damage control on the ship. Did take a lot of less damage for one cycle of my missiles there. So that's definitely a damage control. They really need to rework the damage control and make it a active module, just like in EVE Online. That module would be used in most ships in that case. Would be like in the old days of EVE Online. In that case, I would definitely swap a damage control instead of the ballistic control if it were a active module. That gives at least 25 or let's say 50% resistance to everything. Would allow for some very interesting fits as well. Okay, the Raven is going down and has been destroyed. Excellent work from the team. Amazing tackle on the Daredevil pilot. Now let's just quickly check out what's inside of the wreck. Okay, let's quickly approach before any more reds show up in local.
Autopilot
And they are on the way, by the way. They are coming, they are there. One jump away from this system. And we are safe. That was a very nice catch and a very good kill. Alright, we have 2 ships now. And I am in the good old Ashimu. Oh man, how much I love this ship.
Warp drive active.
The Ashimu has a very special place for me. This ship survived so much for so long, it's impressive. With the exact same fit too. Dual web with beam lasers. Basically perfect for what I use the ship for. Okay, we have a starboard fleet and there is Thorax. Okay, I'll just go after the starboard first because they are quick, fast ships. And I need to maintain my range advantage, so let's shoot the starboard down and then I will go after the Thorax. And they're shooting at me with missiles. What kind of build do they have of these ships? Okay, the starboard slowly going down. The next target will be the Thorax. Oh, they are warping away. Well, they left their friend there, hanging in the pod. I guess that was the smart decision to do, because if the Thorax did stay on the field, they would be destroyed next. Okay, well, that was a nice kill. A very weird build on the stabber, to be honest. Alright, let's go towards the next target. We received intel that there is one sniper in this system, sniping the gate. And there isn't any other perfect ship for the job than the Orthrus to go and tackle something. Mordu ships are perfect to tackle basically any ship you want. I find it very interesting how the Mordu ships are generally used to combat ships that are one category above the ship itself. So the frigate is good against cruisers and battlecruisers. The cruiser is good against battlecruisers and battleships. That leaves us with the battleship. The battleship is good at shooting down, I guess, carriers and dreadnoughts. I have no idea. haven't tested that out yet. But would love to shoot a dreadnought or carrier. Alright, there is our sniper, sitting at 350 km from the low-sec gate. Well, they have been pointed. Now let's maintain the orbit and let's keep on shooting them. You might be wondering, what's the most useless item on the Orthrus? It's the drone slot. It's literally useless at this distance. No drone has enough range to be used at 40+ kilometers. They should really remove the drone from the ship entirely, because it's literally just eating up space. It can be used if you are using rapid missiles, but the ship shines at long-range fights. Okay, well, looks like the Oracle is using pulse lasers. That's a large shield extender as well, a shield tank Oracle. Alright, interesting. Pulse lasers just don't have enough range to hit me at this distance. I should be good. However, a Oracle with tracking computers can hit at this range with pulse lasers, although they have no tank in that case. Now I'm thinking, if that's a sniper, why are they using pulse lasers at 350 kilometers? Kinda doesn't make any sense. I don't know. That was intel. That was what I heard. That was what was told. So yeah, I can only go according to what I hear. Well, in any case, shield has been broken on the Oracle. Now we are doing some damage on the armor, on the hull. Should go down any second now. Nice, that was a nice kill. Let's approach. Or I think I'm going to, yeah, I'm not going to loot this wreck, because I would forget to pay my team members. That's what usually happens if I loot something that just vanishes. That's just because of all the things that's been going on here. Way too crowded and way too busy in the last couple of days, couple of weeks. Alright, we have a next target. Omen Sniper in this scout anomaly. Now, the sniper cruisers aren't my personal favorites. Didn't fly them much, but they can be very scary. They can have a large neutralizer, they can have a super tank, they can have scary DPS, so engaging these ships is usually kinda risky if you think about it, because you really don't know what can happen. You don't know what type of fit they have. It might also be a trap, who knows. But this one appears to be at 33 kilometers away from us, well within Orthrus' optimal range. So let's orbit. We have combined around 10,000 alpha damage. So that sniper just did not stand a chance. It was destroyed pretty quickly. It was a decent kill as well. Now let's take a look at what's inside the wreck. Well, not bad. Not bad at all. All items that I can use for future ships that I have in mind. Alright, well, here's a ship that you haven't seen in a very long time, and I'm personally very sorry for that because I wish I could fly this ship way more often. The good old Trollnado. Oh my god, you don't know how much I love this battlecruiser. This thing is, well, I would say this is like the perfect assault battlecruiser for this game because it can one-hit a frigate or destroyer at over 400 kilometers. Now, I kinda messed up with my build here with the rigs. I need to change them. I messed up a lot actually for the rigs. So I really have to change that. Want more range. This one is... It doesn't hit as much as I want it to hit. But still, we have a bubble at station that needs to be cleared. And I landed. And well, to my shock, that the bubble did survive the first hit. Now that's because they have decent resistances. They will also build for, well, as you can see, it has like a medium, it has couple medium armor plates installed. So, yeah, not surprised that it did survive the first initial hit. Now, my initial goal, and my future goal with the Tornado was to have as much range as possible. The alpha hit is, to be honest, not that... the damage is pretty much okay. It has enough damage to one-hit most ships. Would be funny to have this ship with like 250 optimal range. Oh man, it will be very fun to fight the ship in the near future. I can sense it. Now we have a Gila and there's a Rattlesnake on the station. They are of course playing the good old station games. We know that there is a big fleet on the way as well, so I have to be careful. Not quite sure if they have this safe spot here. Basically I have spots all around the station in all possible places that you can imagine. So I can just warp towards a other location if there is a interceptor or if there's a bomber approaching me. But honestly, I think I can hit a interceptor that's approaching me. Bombers I used to shoot down before if they're trying to slowly approach me while they are cloaked. So very experienced in this Tornado. I did several warp-ins and several warp-outs just because of the possibility of anyone warping in. In the next warp-out I will change my warp-in. That's what snipers, you know, do, always change location from which you shoot at, because if you stay at one position for long enough you might have someone trying to catch you at that position.
Autopilot engaged.
Yeah, you can definitely feel that I really have to change the rigs on this ship. I have DPS rigs for some reason, although I was 100% sure that I did place fall-off rigs. Well, in any case, when I change the rigs it will be a whole different story in terms of what I can hit and at what distance I can hit. Okay, warping in at the station again. Basically what this ship can do, you can warp at a distance, you can wait for a enemy fleet to land, and you can shoot down 1 or 2 ships or even 3 or more before you warp out. That's what the Tornado is good for. It's good at disabling bubbles, frigates, and interceptors of a opposing fleet, which is fun. And well, the tornado has
engaged.
a lot of uses, and that's just one of them. Well then, today was a very interesting run, very good fights. I mean, we all had fun. We all had fun today, and I hope that you also enjoyed. Stay safe, fly safe, and I'll see you next time.